Yes, the Windsor's treasury is full of tiaras and tiaras from all over the world. I probably won't open America if I tell you that there are precious crowns that are considered real talismans for Queen Elizabeth EU. And on the contrary, some jewelry is better not to touch. So believe in the family of the monarch, since behind the historical bling, there is a plume of mysterious and tragic events. One of such dangerous things is a very beautiful, elegant tiara of the Dukes of Hesse, the so-called strawberry leaf tiara. According to family legends, it has always brought its wearers a lot of misfortune. The diamond charm has had a certain magical meaning since the middle of the 19th century. Since then, the Hesse Open tiara, depicting strawberry leaves, nicknamed Ghostly, and not accidentally. So, the daughter of Queen Victoria of England and Prince Albert, the young Princess Alice, was going to be a happy bride, and later a wife. Caring and loving father ordered for the girl a wonderful wedding gift from the jewelers of the firm Garrard, the same festive wreath, symbolizing the tenderness and sweetness of strawberries. It is with such juicy and fragrant berries then and compared the lovely bride. Naturally, on the wedding day, the princess decorated her hair with her father's gift. The majestic, delicate tiara suited her wedding outfit just by the way, and large drops of transparent diamonds, representing branches and leaves, shimmered and burned with some fierce fire. But the young wife of Louis of Hesse was never able to thank her father at the wedding ceremony. Barely having received the desired order from the jewelers, Albert died on the eve of the celebration. He never saw Alice getting married. After grieving over her parents' untimely death, Alice and her husband began a new stage in their lives. Now they were spouses and rejoiced at the birth of long-awaited children, which were granted by heaven. Of course, the diamond jewelry reminded the princess of her father. She often put on a shining tiara and admired the reflection in large mirrors for a long time. In addition, the jewelry was perfect for festive events. Life went on as usual, until the children of the couple Hesse did not fall ill with an insidious disease, diphtheria. At the level of medicine, which was in the 19th century, the outcome of the course of the disease could be any. Alice caught the dangerous diphtheria, having been infected from loved ones, and died of the terrible disease. She was only 35. Yes, a devoted mother, the princess did not want to leave her children and cared reverently for her daughters. Surely she regretted nothing. Morning descended on their home like an eternal black twilight. Hessian Tower still quietly glittered with magnificent diamonds, lurking in a velvet box. And a few days after the death of her mother, her youngest daughter passed away. The Duke was left with the meaning of life, the rest of the children. However, the evil fate did not spare them, just delayed in time a series of ominous circumstances. As we know, soon the terrible fires of the October Revolution broke out in the Russian Empire. The siblings, Empress Alexandra Feodorovna and Grand Duchess Elizabeth Feodorovna, perished at the hands of the Bolsheviks in that same relentless revolutionary conflagration. And Princess Alice's son, Frederick of Hesse, inherited a family disease, an incurable blood disorder, hemophilia, which finally ruined his precarious health. What about the tiara? Has it faded into oblivion? Not at all. The jewel was inherited, the strawberry crown passed into the hands of Prince Ernst. Marrying his own cousin, Victoria Melita of Edinburgh, the descendant of Queen Victoria became a happy father. But not for long. The firstborn died in the mother's womb. The second baby was killed by insidious typhus. The couple could not withstand the ordeal, and instead of support, divorced. As usual, Ernst married again. Fatal tiara inherited his son, which was born from his second wife. By the way, the second wife, the beautiful Eleanor, loved to wear a diamond crown. But in her life everything was fine, until the wonderful tiara moved into the jewelry box of the sister of Prince Philip, who, as we remember, was the husband of the current Queen Elizabeth Olya. The girl married Eleanor and Ernst's son. Cecilia gave George 3 children, and also liked to wear a tiara with strawberry leaves. The young princess was expecting her fourth child when she and her entire family set off on their final journey, their last flight. An airplane crash took the lives of almost everyone in Cecilia's family. Only the daughter did not fly then with her parents, and therefore remained alive. By the way, the ominous tiara, which the princess took with her, was not lost in the disaster. It was safely hidden in the safe, and it did not suffer a gram, surviving among the many fragments. Since then, the Hessian tiara are nicknamed cursed, bringing misfortune, ghostly. After all, everyone who had anything to do with the family jewel became ghosts and left the earthly home. Since the plane crash, no one has seen the strawberry leaf jewelry. Perhaps Elizabeth herself ordered the gloomy piece to be disposed of, and even found a buyer, an intrepid skeptic who does not believe in the myth of the curse of the tiara. Be that as it may, the Queen of England has been at peace ever since. Her children and grandchildren were no longer threatened.